In a quiet town, there was a boy named Ryan, known for being incredibly smart. His teachers praised him, his classmates admired him, and his parents were certain he was destined for greatness. Ryan had a powerful dream to become a doctor. With his natural intelligence, he felt the future was bright and that success would simply find him. But beneath that confidence, a struggle was brewing that he didn't yet understand. Ryan's biggest weakness wasn't a lack of ability, but a lack of control over his own mind. Whenever he sat down to study, his focus would vanish within minutes. His attention drifted to his phone, social media, random videos, or daydreams about the future. He kept telling himself there was plenty of time, that he'd study later. But later rarely came. Days turned into weeks, and his habits never changed. Ryan believed that being smart was enough, that discipline was only for average students. His parents and teachers tried to warn him, reminding him that talent without effort means nothing. Ryan would listen politely, but deep down he thought they were overreacting. That false confidence followed him into the most important exam of his life, the scholarship test that could have paved his way to becoming a doctor. When the results came out, Ryan's world fell apart. He had failed.
His friends, who studied consistently, had all succeeded.
The teachers who once praised him now looked at him with disappointment. That evening, sitting alone, overwhelmed by shame, Ryan finally admitted a painful truth. Intelligence alone was not enough. He hadn't failed because he was incapable. He failed because he lacked discipline. That night, the silence in his room felt heavier than ever. He replayed the failure in his mind, not as bad luck, but as a direct result of his own choices. For the first time, he stopped blaming distractions and looked honestly at himself. He knew his intelligence was still there. What he had lost was control. This realization was the start of his change. Determined to never repeat that mistake, Ryan sought guidance. He was introduced to Coach Miller, a PE teacher known for transforming unfocused students into disciplined individuals. Ryan approached the coach and explained his struggle, how his mind jumped from one thought to another, and how powerless he felt. Coach Miller listened patiently, then took Ryan to the playground with a bow and arrow. He told Ryan to aim for the center of the target.
The arrow missed badly.
When the coach asked what he was focusing on, Ryan realized he had been aware of everything: the field, the trees, the target. Coach Miller pointed out the lesson. A focused person sees only the goal. He explained that Ryan's mind was just as scattered during his studies. Success, the coach said, demands the ability to shut out everything but the task at hand. That's when he shared a few simple rules. Control your thoughts, create a routine, remove distractions, and practice daily. Ryan left that day understanding that discipline wasn't punishment, it was freedom. Of course, Ryan didn't change overnight. The first few days were painful. Sitting at his desk without his phone felt unnatural. His mind constantly tried to pull him back to old habits. But this time, whenever his focus slipped, he remembered the coach's words and gently brought his attention back. He created a strict daily routine for studying, resting, and sleeping, and stuck to it, even when he wasn't motivated. Slowly, something remarkable began to happen. The hours that once felt unbearable became manageable. Distractions lost their power, not because they vanished, but because he learned to ignore them. Week by week, his concentration improved. Studying no longer felt like a battle. He reviewed lessons consistently and understood concepts more deeply than ever before. For the first time, he experienced what it felt like to study with complete presence. Months later, another major exam arrived. This time, there was no panic, no last-minute cramming. He trusted the process he had built through daily discipline. When the results were announced, his hard work spoke for itself. Ryan didn't just pass. He secured the top position. This victory felt different. It wasn't the thrill of luck, but the quiet satisfaction of earned success. He understood this wasn't a miracle, but the outcome of consistent effort. And a year later, as Ryan stood on stage receiving his scholarship, he smiled. He remembered the day he failed, convinced he had wasted his potential. No, he knew that failure wasn't the end, but the beginning. He recalled Coach Mueller's words about the mind being like a wild horse, powerful, but dangerous if untrained. Ryan had learned that controlling the mind isn't about force, but about patience and daily effort. Discipline had reshaped his entire life, not just his studies. Success no longer felt mysterious. It felt logical and earned. Ryan realized that talent without discipline is like a sharp blade left to rust. His story is a powerful reminder for all of us. It's about mastering the greatest tool we all possess, the mind. When you train it with purpose, it becomes your greatest ally, leading you toward your goals instead of pulling you away. If you learn to discipline your thoughts, control your time, and commit to daily improvement, success will follow. It may not be instant, but it will be certain. Keep moving forward. Be patient with yourself. And remember that the future belongs to those who train their minds today. Thanks for watching.